Good morning, Tukwila. This is your host, ColethaAlbert. How are you doing today? It is election day. I hope that you voted. If you haven't, I hope you go by the election office on Grady Way. Those of you who are in King County, to drop off your ballots. Um, One thing that I wanted to talk to people who are in Tukwila who are looking for ways to create an income. One thing you need to consider is opening your own nonprofit, because as we get more into this pandemic, lots of people are going to be needing lots of services. So for mental health professionals, nurses, lawyers, CPAs, um, even if you have a banker, you want to get in touch with all of these people to let them know that you are interested in starting a nonprofit. So when you start a nonprofit, you're going to want to file with the Secretary of State and get your certificate of incorporation. And then the tax form that you file is the Form 990. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. Because I believe in beginning with the end in mind. Okay, so there's a recent development with Form 990, and that is taxpayer relief of certain tax-related deadlines due to the coronavirus pandemic. Okay, so you're going to want to check that out. It hasn't been updated since April. There should be another revision coming. Okay. Um, a donor's guide to vehicle donations. That's a big one. Okay. I donated a truck to Cars for Kids before in the past. And um, I checked out Cars for Kids. I donated my car. They took truck, actually, it was an SUV, and they took care of everything for me. So per the IRS, this is publication 4303. Before you give your vehicle to a charitable organization, number one, check out the charity. See if you'll get a tax benefit. Check the value of your vehicle. See what your responsibilities are as a donor to a charity. Okay? So you're going to want to look into all of that. So it says if a tax deduction is an important consideration for you when donating a vehicle to a charity, you should check out the charity. I suggest guidestar.org and, of course, the Secretary of State. Um, Through this publication, 4303, the Internal Revenue Service and state charity officials provide general guidelines for individuals who donate their vehicles. Okay, so I just gave you the highlights. Okay, this says to verify that an organization is a charity qualified to receive tax deductible contributions, use the EO Select check. Okay, so that's another resource. This is one that's referred to you by the IRS. So this is EO Select check tool on the IRS website at www.irs.gov, charities and nonprofits. Nonprofits, and then it's exempt. exempt organizations. Select check. Okay. It says you may also verify an organization status by calling the IRS Customer Account Services Division for tax-exempt and government entities at 877-829-5500. Be sure to have the charity's correct name. It is also helpful to know the charity's address. Not all qualified organizations are listed in EO Select Check. Okay? For example, churches, synagogues, temples, and mosques are not required to apply to the IRS for recognition of exemption in order to be qualified organizations and are frequently not listed. If you have questions, call Customer Account Services at the above phone number. If you want to learn more about a charity before donating your vehicle, use the resources listed under Assistance Through the Charity, Assistance Through the Charity, it says assistance through the charity, through the state officials, through the IRS on page 8. Okay, so qualifying for a tax deduction. You can deduct contributions to charity only if you itemize deductions on your Schedule A of Form 1040. Okay, you must take into account certain limitations on charitable contribution deductions. For example, your deduction cannot exceed 50% of your adjusted gross income. Other limitations may apply. Publication 526, Charitable Contribution, provides detailed information on claiming deductions and the deduction limits. It also describes types of organizations that are qualified to receive tax-deductible contributions, and that's also Publication 526 is available online at irs.gov, and you can call 1-800-829-3676. Okay? Charitable contributions. Okay. Determining the amount you can deduct. Okay. It says written acknowledgement for vehicle contribution deduction of more than $500. That's going to be mostly everybody, because generally a car that's valued at less than $500, it's not running or anything. Okay, so written acknowledgement for vehicle contribution deduction of more than $500. What the written acknowledgement must contain depends upon what the charity does with the vehicle. However, all acknowledgments must contain the following information: your name and taxpayer ID number, the vehicle ID number, the date of the contribution, and one of the following: a statement that no goods or services were provided by the charity in return for the donation. If that was the case, I like this. Okay, the date of the contribution, and a statement that no goods or services were provided by the charity in return for the donation. Okay? Easy. Okay. Another statement could be, so it's just one of these. A description and good faith estimate of the value of goods or services, if any, that the charity provided in return for the donation, or a statement that goods or services provided by the charity consisted entirely of intangible religious benefits, if that was the case. Note, if the acknowledgement does not contain all required information, the deduction may not exceed $500. Okay. Okay, gross proceed limit applies. Generally, if the charity sells your vehicle, your deduction is limited to the gross proceeds the charity receives from its sale. In addition to the information indicated above, the contemporaneous written acknowledgement must contain a statement certifying that the vehicle was sold in an arm's length transaction between unrelated parties, the date the vehicle was sold. Okay, so that's only if the, uh, like cars for kids, they clean up the cars and then they resell them, and then that money comes in as revenue for the charity. So that's why they would need to do that. If that's something that you're going to do, then that's the information that you're going to need. I like that this is so straightforward. They give you examples, up to 3 different examples. Written acknowledgement for a vehicle contribution deduction of $500 or less. Um, determining the fair market value of your vehicle. If an exception to the gross proceed limit applies to your deduction, or if you are claiming a deduction of $500 or less, you will need to determine your vehicle's fair market value as of the date of the contribution. Generally, fair market value is the price a willing buyer would pay and a willing seller would accept for the vehicle when neither party is compelled to buy or sell and both parties have reasonable knowledge of the relevant facts. If you use a vehicle pricing guide to determine fair market value, be sure that the sales price listed is for a vehicle that is the same make, model, and year, sold in the same condition and with the same or substantially similar options or accessories as your vehicle. Moreover, the fair market value of a vehicle cannot exceed the price listed for a private party sale. Okay? So that's going to be important. The fair market price. If your vehicle is so old that it is only worth 500 or less, then you go to the other section. Okay. Then record keeping. This is going to be okay. So this is going to be Form 8283, non-cash, charitable contributions. Okay. In the deduction, you are claiming for a donated vehicle greater than $500, but not more than $5,000. Okay, so those are the limits. More than 500, less than $5,000. You must complete Section A of Form 8283. Okay, and attach it to your Form 1040. Okay, if the deduction you are claiming is greater than $5,000, you must complete Section B of Form 8283. So that's 5,000 plus. Complete Section A, Form 8283, and attach to Form 1040. Okay, I think it's interesting that you don't have to attach it to Form 990. It's interesting. Okay. Okay. If the deduction you are claiming is greater than $5,000, you must complete Section B of Form 8283, which must include the signature of an authorized official of the charity and attach it to your return. In addition, if the deduction is over $5,000 and not limited to the gross proceeds from the sale of your vehicle, you must get a written appraisal of your vehicle. Okay. Your written appraisal must be from a qualified appraiser. Okay. See publication 561, determine the value of donated property. Okay. Record keeping and filing. Okay. Filing requirements, record keeping. Record keeping requirements, name and address of the charity, date of donation, place where you donated vehicle, description of vehicle, contemporaneous written acknowledgement from charity. And then filing, written acknowledgement, Form 8283, Section A, that's for vehicles that are more than 500 but less than $5,000. You do Section B for vehicles that are more than 5,000. Okay. And then a written appraisal if deduction is not limited to gross proceeds. Okay. Vehicle title. Generally, state charity officials recommend that the donor take responsibility for transfer of the title to ensure termination of liability for the vehicle. In most states, this involves filing a form with the state motor vehicle department which states that the vehicle has been donated. Before donating the vehicle, you should remove the license plates unless state law requires otherwise. This may help you avoid any liability problems after the vehicle is transferred. Okay? Okay, charity assistance. Assistance through the charity, through state officials, and through the IRS. The charity must make available for public inspection its application for tax exemption, its termination letter, and its most recent annual information returns. That's Form 990. There's Form 990. A charity must also provide copies of these documents upon request, unless it makes the documents widely available. A charity may not charge you for inspecting the documents, but it may charge a reasonable fee for copying and mailing the documents. Certain charities, including churches, synagogues, and mosques, are not required to file exemption applications and annual information returns. Okay? So it's very much spelled out. I think that if you need help in setting up your nonprofit, the IRS assistance is. The IRS can answer your tax questions and can provide tax forms, publications, and other reading materials for further assistance. Okay, IRS materials are accessible through the internet at www.irs.gov, through telephone ordering at 800-829-3676, and at IRS walk-in offices in many areas across the country, but not during this pandemic. The IRS also must make available the charity's application for tax exemption, determination letter, and Form 990. If you have a concern or a complaint about a charity, write to IRS Examination Division, attention TEO, E MC 4910 DAL 1100 Commerce Street, Dallas, Texas 75242. All right, so there you have it. It is very complex, but they do have information the whole way through. This is one of the reasons why the IRS does not cut you any slack about your taxes, because they give you so much information. There's so much information that's out there. So there you have it, Tukwila. It is raining today. Of course, today is election day. It is super duper quiet and very serene right now. I didn't get any push notifications from Tukwila PD or anything like that. Let me just check. Okay. Nope. Oh, well, they're saying about Tukwila, of course, is hiring police officers, but that's every city. Every city from Tukwila to Tukwila, they're all hiring police officers. And, of course, they're also hiring in Tukwila the chief of police. So that's it. Yeah, recruiting the next chief of police. Okay, so here's something. It's so weird how this is all listed. Okay, so anyway, 19-year-old voter from Tukwila among the temporary staff hired for this election. Okay, hundreds of temporary workers were hired for the presidential election in King County. We speak with one of the youngest workers who explains why he took the job. Daniel Hogarty. So he's related to one of our city council members, Hogarty. Okay. 19, who is a first-time voter in a presidential election and one of the youngest faces you will see at the headquarters in Renton. I'm the type of person who likes working behind the scenes. In high school, for a year, I was in the drama club, but then later I realized I'd rather be a stagehand, because as much as I like working on stage, I prefer working from the background. This job was very well tailored for me, says Hogarty, a 2019 graduate from Tukwila High School. His main role involves verifying signatures on ballot envelopes. That's when the ballots come in, and that's one of the first steps that they do. The next thing is they go to the Pitney Bowes opener, and that's all automated, where the ballots are all loaded in there and they're opened. Then they are separated, Republican and Democrat, and then the rest of the process happens. There should be a website, webcam, that allows you to look into King County voting. That should be active now. It used to be. So I haven't checked, because I haven't really. Okay, so his main role involves verifying signatures on ballot envelopes. In a full work day, he scanned up to 4,500 signatures. Okay, so that means he's in a different department than even I knew existed. And I thought, I did the whole tour. I also worked the King County election back in 2016. So, yeah. Do I believe this person signed his name? Do I believe this is their envelope? Sometimes you have to have leeway of noting key characteristics. Do they write? Oh, it's so it just kills your brain. Anyway, a spokesperson for King County elections told Q13 News about 600 temporary staff were hired. The election workers are doing everything from picking up ballots, opening and processing ballots, to answering questions coming in to customer service. Last week I was in the warehouse most of the time setting up voting centers that went out to Bellevue and CenturyLink, said Hogarty. This morning I was helping with opening. I was organizing the envelopes so we could store them. If there ever needs to be a recount, we can pull them up, so it's been a lot of fun. Hogarty is already thinking about working the next election in 2021. He credits his family for his interest in politics. His mom is a council member for Tukwila City Council. It's been fun because she comes home and talks about what she has to deal with. I don't know if she's supposed to do that. I've been to the city hall and I get to see the workers, and those are the people I've always found the most interesting, said Hogarty. Temporary election staff have been hired to work a 5-week stretch through the end of November. Okay, so that's all they have to say about that. All right, so this has been Good Morning Tukwila. Let's see, is King County Elections hiring more staff? Let's see, King County elections jobs. Okay, let's see what it says. Oh, yep, they are. They've been advertising for over a month. Ballot van driver. Let's see. I think back in 2016, election workers made like $19 an hour or so. Let's see. What does it say? King County elections. Read more. Blah, blah, blah. It's just on and on and on. Okay. I'm looking for the compensation. And of course it doesn't say. So let's click in there and go a little bit deeper. It should say how much. Ooh. It didn't even take me to the King County website. This is so weird. Okay, so let me open up another page. I'm just going to go to the King County website. kingcounty.gov. Okay. Okay. According to this, it says they're really pushing joining King County Sheriff's Department. Okay, let me see. Jesus Christ. It's so wordy. Okay. Like I said, these government entities, they give you loads of information. So that's what I'm saying. They feel like there's no excuse when you don't do things properly. But a lot of times you don't even know, but it's just no excuse. It's just no excuse, no excuse, no excuse. So let me go to elections. Go. Elections. ELECT. Okay. Oh, Lord have mercy. Give me strength. Show more. Oh, I see. I see. Okay. Okay. So according to this, there are only 72 job postings found for King County. That's very scary. Most of these positions are temporary. Let's see what else we got. Attorney, Best Starts Kids Renewal Project Manager, Special Duty. This is temporary. Building Operating Engineer, full-time, up to $40 an hour. And this is for Metro. Business and Finance Officer, full-time, $48.14 an hour. This is with Public Health. Business and Finance Officer 3, up to $110,000 annually, accounting and finance, and this is Water and Land Resources. Business and Finance Officer, this is temporary, and this is with Public Health. Capital Project Manager, Engineering, and this is with the Solid Waste Division. So this is all infrastructure stuff. Contracts Manager, Public Health, Best Starts for Kids. Court Marshal, 40 hours a week. This is full-time. Civil Service. This is with Administration, Law Enforcement, Safety, 9/11, Telecommunications, Security Department, with the Sheriff's Office. Court Reporter. Well, we can see what they're going for. COVID-19 Screener in Bellevue. COVID-19 Vaccine Project and Program Manager 3. Special Duty Assignment, that's temp. Criminal Information Processing Technician, $32 an hour. This is for Superior Court. This is not temporary. It's not temporary. Okay. I'm going to go next. Customer Information and Assistance Lead, full-time, Judicial Administration. Director 1, Human Resources, Court Administration, Superior Court, Disease Research and Intervention, Disease, EBS Team Supervisor. This is a temporary position. Employee and Labor Relations Employee, Human Resources, Public Health, Drainage Inspection, Engineer, Water and Land Resources, Water and Land, Patrol Operations, Entry-Level Deputy Sheriff. Everything is COVID-19. All of these jobs are COVID-19 related. Metro. This is one Executive Services. This is Facilities HVAC Engineer. So they're going to be, I bet you this is to do air filtration. Air filtration. Finance Technician, up to $37 an hour. Supervisor of the Court, Administration, Financial Investigator, with the Prosecuting Attorney. Hazardous Waste Policy Liaison, Public Health, IT Lifecycle Scheduling. That's the first IT job I've seen. Jail Registered Nurse, short-term, temporary, lateral Deputy Sheriff, Lifeguard. They're looking for a lot of lifeguards lately. Weird. Medical Assistant, Medical Assistant, Medical Assistant, Medical Records. Public Health, Community Health, Seattle and King County. and that was in Bellevue. Nurse supervisor, planning and administration services section manager, PMO manager, PPM2 homeless housing program manager, PPM3 early learning facility strategy manager, program technician 2 courtroom technology support, project and program manager 2. Project and program manager 4. This is the director's office, natural resources and parks, psychiatrist. $127.29 an hour. Jail health services. Public health evaluator, public health nurse, public health nurse, public health nurse, public health nurse, rail service worker, registered nurse, senior applications developer, senior staff physician, okay, transit service information specialist, wastewater construction management, and that's it. No jobs for elections at all. All those positions have been filled. What does that mean? I don't know. There isn't anything else news-wise that is happening for Tukwila specifically. Of course, you know there's a shakeup at Tukwila Public Schools, but there always is. That's why I haven't really, addressed it. If you want to check out Tuck TV, that is all of the city council meetings. So just look up TUK TV, and that's where all of the city council meetings are posted. I don't know if they're edited or if it's just as it's happening, it's recorded. I'm not sure, but that's that. There should have been one for last night, so you can check that out. All right. Once again, if you have any questions, let me know. I have merch that's on Teespring. You can find that down in the descriptions below. Like this video, share this video, and leave me any comments. If you need to send me information, message me on my Instagram. Okay, that way I'll get it in Instagram and it also hits my Facebook at the same time. All right, I will talk to y'all later. Have a great day, and I'll probably be back later on today. Probably not. We can talk about the election tomorrow, God willing. But so far, everything is just as quiet can be. All right, talk to y'all later. Bye. Have a good morning, Tukwila.